You listen to Jason Dale on Six Towns Radio.
Hello.
Hello, is that Mick Foster?
That's me, sir.
Hi Mick, Jason Dale at Six Towns Radio in Stoke-on-Trent.
How are you going?
I'm very well, how are you?
Great. Couldn't be any better, sir. Nothing bother.
Absolutely fantastic. Mick, I was talking to your good friend Tony Allen last week.
All right.
Yeah, he told me all about the tour. You're at the Crew Lyceum Theatre near to us on the 19th of November, and you're doing a nationwide tour. How many dates are you doing this year, Mick?
I think 28.
You've performed at the Lyceum before, Tony was telling me. And
we have. I'd say at this stage there's probably nowhere in the UK we haven't performed.
How does it feel to be back on the road, Mick?
It's great because, we only work maybe between recording and everything, we only work maybe 6 months a year. So
right.
By the time you finish a tour, you have enough of it and you're mad to get home. And then when you're at home for a couple of months, you want to get back out on the road again. So
brilliant.
It works great.
Works well.
I suppose at this stage, if we had to work the round of the year, we probably wouldn't stick it. But
right.
The way we do it, it's great.
It works well for you. In a 40-year career, you've released over 30 albums. You've sold over 22 million records. In a 40-year career.
Yeah, well, I suppose between, records and cassettes and videos
yep.
and CDs and DVDs.
Yeah,
we've sold a lot. I think we've had 30 CDs or albums in the British charts.
Wow!
And all in all, I'd say we probably have maybe released around about 50 albums because some of them that would be out here wouldn't have been in the UK in the early days, and maybe what goes to Australia mightn't be the same as what goes to the UK.
Right, I see. Yeah.
It varies like that.
Okay, now you began in 1975. You're playing in country music bands around Ireland, right?
Yeah, we started playing together, in a local band.
Yeah.
In 1967.
Right.
And we did that for a while, and then we kind of did our own thing for a while, and then we came back in 1974 in another band, and in 75 we started Foster and Allen, and you're still stuck with us.
Brilliant. Now tell me about A Bunch of Time. It's a beautiful song, and I did play it on the show last week, but we're going to play it again today now that we've got you on the show. Can you tell me in your words how this song came about, please?
As far as we know, it's originally came from up around the borders of England and Scotland, and Christy Moore got it when he was over there and brought it home, and he had it on an album, and we were looking for tracks for our own album, and you'd be going through a world of other people's material to see was there anything suitable, and Tony liked this song, and he said, look, it'll do grand for an album track, and that's what it was supposed to be.
Right.
And then the producer at the time thought it was such a nice song that it should be a single.
Right, see.
And we brought it out in Ireland in 1979.
Right.
And it went to number one, and we re-released it in 1981, and it went back to number one. And then in the very beginning of 1982, it was released in the UK, and it got into the British top 20, and that was the start of our career in the UK.
Right. Okay, well, we're going to play it now. Even though we played it last week, I had a really good response online. People are commenting about the song and their
that's good.
Yeah, and their memories of the song. It's a beautiful, haunting melody. Can you introduce this one, please, Mick?
It's our very first, I suppose, it was our second single in Ireland and our first single in the UK, a very old folk song called A Bunch of Time.
You listen to Jason Dale on Six Towns Radio.
Beautiful, and that's A Bunch of Time from Foster and Allen. And we're with our very special guest today, Mr. Mick Foster. Hello, Mick.
How are you doing, sir?
Very well, thank you. Very good. Whereabouts are you now, Mick?
I'm about 4 miles west of Mullingar, which is right in the very centre of Ireland. I'm halfway to everywhere. I'd go from here to Galway in an hour and a half. I'd go from here to Dublin in about an hour and a quarter.
Are you anywhere near to Offaly?
Yeah, next door. It's I would be in County Offaly in half an hour from here.
Beautiful. A lot of horse breeding and some beautiful, castles. I was there about 5 years ago. Lovely part of the country.
It's the next county. It's only down the road from us.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Mick, Tony was telling me when that song came out a bunch of time, you got onto Top of the Pops with that one, didn't you?
We did indeed.
And how did you feel about being, with the likes of, the Boomtown Rats, Adam and the Ants, all of these bands on there, these pop bands of the day, and there you were, Foster and Allen, right in the middle of the cool crowd. How was that for you?
We didn't really get much time to think about it because we were in America when we got word that if, the bunch of time was in the top 30, and if it got into the top 20, we'd be on Top of the Pops. So we really came back from New York to Dublin, and we were kind of hanging around Dublin for, an hour or two waiting to get word, and then we did that it was in the British top 20, and we were on Top of the Pops. So we just flew then from Dublin to London and went down the next morning and recorded. Top of the Pops was pre-recorded at that time.
Right, yeah.
Recorded on the Wednesday and went out on Thursday. So we went down and, so as I said, we didn't really have much time to get excited or wonder what it was about. It was New York, Dublin, London, London, the studio.
Aye. So
But it was a good experience, and we had done a lot of television in Ireland before, so the television studio was no big deal, except it was a lot big. The studio was a lot bigger than what we were used to.
Yeah. Right, yeah, and obviously, I know where you're from in the centre of Ireland, and I'm just reading on your biography. You've got a great love for horses, haven't you, Mick?
Yeah, I would spend every day with horses.
Yeah.
I used to breed them for years, but I'm getting on a bit now, you see, so between one thing and another, I haven't time to do the two jobs, so the horses are just a bit of a hobby now.
Right.
And I go horse riding near enough every day.
Right. And I
bet so it keeps me fit and gets me out in the fresh air and all that.
Some beautiful scenery down there. Okay,
that's lovely, yeah.
You may be doing a little less of the horse riding, but the one thing you're not going to put down is your accordion, isn't it?
No, I do more. I play more music when I'm not working than I do when I am.
I can well imagine that.
Because it would be all traditional Irish music when I'm not working, and going to traditional Irish music festivals and sessions and stuff like that.
Yeah, did you do many festivals with Foster and Allen?
No, none with an odd one in America, but I do the traditional ones at home here in Ireland, just myself.
Right, I see. Now, going back to the accordion, Mick, can you explain what is a Foster special?
I have a few of them. I got them made specially in Italy.
Yeah.
Not really that much different about them, except you won't get another one. If someone happened to steal it, he couldn't sell it on because there isn't another one. I just got my name put on it, and I got the keyboard in different colours and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And but in general, there's not a whole lot of difference, except the cosmetic end of it, the outside of it, that people look at is a lot more. You won't see another one.
Right. Okay, and that's why it's called the Foster Special. Now,
that's the one.
Talking about the style of playing on your accordion, you've got a unique style, and you pick the songs. How do you pick the songs to suit your voice with an accordion? If any of our listeners are out there, I know we do get a lot of musicians, all kinds of musicians. What advice how would you pick the songs for your voice, Mick?
Well, Tony and myself pick our own songs mainly. For all the early years, we picked our own stuff. Now we sit down with the record company, and they would suggest maybe a theme for the record,
right.
and we would go home and we would make out a list. Each of us would make out a list that we think we could do and would be suitable, and the record company in turn, they would do the same.
Right.
And we each might come up with, between Tony and myself, we could come up with 50 or 60 songs,
right.
and the record company could come up with the same, or maybe 100 songs, but between the three of us, we'd be able to come up with 40 songs that everyone was going to be happy with, that we could do,
right.
And that the record company wanted, and that's kind of the way we do it.
I see, yeah. So it's like it really is team effort, isn't it?
It is, very much so.
Right. Okay, now another big hit for Foster and Allen was, of course, Maggie. Now,
yeah, it was a very old song,
yeah.
Supposedly written in Canada,
right,
by a school teacher.
You're right.
And it was recorded. Well, the earliest recording that we know about was Count John McCormack in 1919.
Right. Wow.
And it's been on the go as long as we have, and a lot longer. And we just got it, and it was a kind of a follow-up to Bunch of Time.
Yes.
And it was in the same vein, I suppose, or genre, and
yeah.
suited us, and suited the accordion, and suited everything. And it got into the top 30 as well, and we were on top of the pops with it, but it was only our picture. They played the record on top of the pops and put our picture on the screen, because we were in America again that year and
right.
couldn't get back. That was 83, 82 was Bunch of Time, and 83 was Maggie, yeah.
We're going to play it now. It's a beautiful song. Again, could you introduce this one for me, please, Mick?
I can. It's this song, which was a hit for us in Ireland and in the UK, and it also was #1 in Australia and New Zealand for us. It's called Maggie.
You listen to Jason Dale on 6 Towns Radio.
Lovely. That was Maggie from Foster and Allen, and we're with our special guest today, Mick Foster. Hello there, Mick.
How are you doing?
I'm good, good. That's a lovely song. Yes, we did play it last week, but it's such a nice song. We're going to play it again on this interview. We're doing a part 1 and a part 2 with the both of you on the show.
No problem.
Does that happen quite a lot, being a duo?
Sorry?
Does that happen quite a lot with the radio and interviews, like being a duo? Do you do interviews? Do you normally do them like in different parts?
Yeah, well, you see, Tony lives in Northern Ireland, and he's about 3 hours away from me. So
right.
unless we're in the studio or somewhere like that,
yeah,
we do them separately, because
yeah.
I mean, you could ring me and you could ring Tony, and
yeah.
it mightn't just work out between the two places.
Yeah.
So we normally, unless we're away and unless we're in the studio, we do whatever interviews have to be done separately. He would do one day, he would do another.
Yeah,
or
that's what we've done.
Whatever way it works out that way.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever question you ask me, he'd be able to answer,
yeah.
and vice versa.
Okay, then.
There's nothing one of us would be able to tell you that the other one wouldn't.
Okay, then here's a question then. I was doing some research a couple of weeks ago on, both of you, and I came across a song on the internet, and it's a delightful song, and it even had me doing a jig. And I don't know who did one of you did your own stunts on the video, and it's called Me Uncle Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Who was dancing on that one?
Me.
Wow. Is that a proper jig? Were you just improvising, or were they...
If you'd like to call it dancing, you can. It was written by a guy from Wales.
Right.
And it's a great, lively song, if matter where you're doing it,
yeah.
on stage and everything. And it was ideal for... we used to do a lot of videos back in the 90s.
Yeah.
And... we did a storyboard to most of them, and that fitted in perfect.
Yeah, it's great fun. Do you still do that one live?
Storyboards. So we did it in one of the Irish folk parks, so it was good crack.
Do you still do the song live at your concerts?
No, not now. We don't. We've recorded way over 800 songs.
Yeah,
so it's a kind of, we do a 2-hour show, which takes in, I suppose, 35, 36.
Yeah.
Maybe 40 songs, and it's a bit of a job.
Yeah.
You have to do a bunch of time and Maggie, and after all these years, and ones like that were hits. If you didn't do those, you'd be lynched.
I can imagine.
And then we kind of do a cross section from our albums over the years with songs that we got a lot of requests for, and then we throw in an odd new one from whatever our current CD at the time is.
Okay then, well, just for a little bit of fun, I'm going to play my Uncle Mike on this show. We can just get a little bit of fun towards the end. Can you introduce this one for me as well, please?
This is a song written by Shag Connors. It's called My Uncle Mike.
You listen to Jason Dale on Six Towns Radio.
My Uncle Mike. That was my Uncle Mike from Foster and Allen, and we're still with Mick Foster today. Hi, Mick.
How are you doing?
Great. Just one more question. On that video on my Uncle Mike, if anybody goes online and watches the video, there's a sketch where you're on the back of a horse and coach.
Yeah, that's right.
How did you stand up on that? Because you're going quite fast, aren't you? And dancing.
With great difficulty. With great difficulty, but I was a lot younger then than I am now.
Right, it must be.
I think the horse would have to have stopped if we had to do it now.
It was good though, and it's really good fun, and it's just like a good fun, totally.
It was great fun. It was great fun. Now we had over the years we had we did. I think we did 15 or 16 storyboard videos with 15 or 16 songs on each one. So. You're talking about 15-15s or 15-16s.
Yeah.
So, we had great fun at them.
Brilliant. Mick, can I ask you a big favour?
Yes, sir.
Would you mind doing a jingle for me for my radio show?
Not a problem.
If you could make it out to Jason Dale at Six Towns Radio.
Jason?
Dale, D-A-L-E.
Hello, I'm Mick Foster from Foster and Allen. You're listening to Jason Dale on Six Towns Radio.
Absolutely fantastic. Would you do one for my director, Terry, at Six Towns, just for Six Towns Radio?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Mick Foster from Foster and Allen. You're listening to Six Towns Radio.
Absolutely fantastic. Mick, it's been lovely chatting with you today.
No bother, no problem.
Have a fantastic show at the Crew Lyceum on the 19th of November.
We'll hopefully we keep our fingers crossed now and hope to see it. Everybody there, and we'll have a great night.
Thank you. Have a great night. Have a great tour 2014. Thanks, Mick.
No bother.
Bye-bye now.
Take care.
And you. Bye-bye.
You listen to Jason Dale on Six Towns Radio.